Hello and welcome. This video is about Arts, Care, and Connection, an arts-integrated, transformative social and emotional learning resource for Oregon classrooms.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Julia Cuppy, and I am a Oregon teacher and have been on the design team for the Arts, Care, and Connection, and I'm excited to wear the hat of classroom teacher as we unfold this great resource.
I'm Jen Hernandez. I am a teaching artist based in Oregon. I work all over the state, and I was also part of the design team for this amazing resource. I'm so excited to share about it with you, and thank you so much for being here.
The big question we asked ourselves as we started to design this program was, what if creativity, care, and emotional connection were at the center of every school day?
Arts, Care, and Connection is a partnership between Arts for Learning Northwest, the Oregon Department of Education, and teaching artists that support teacher-led, arts-integrated, transformative social-emotional learning in K-5 classrooms. The resource is free, flexible, and grounded in equity and student voice.
So as a classroom teacher, I believe that we are all looking for resources and curriculum and philosophies that ground in this equity and student voice. So you may be thinking, I already do this, but what is the practical use of this tool in our classroom? And that's what we're going to look at in this video. We'll ask ourselves, what is Arts, Care, and Connection, and how will it look like in the classroom? What's inside this curriculum? How do we access the curriculum? And what are the practical uses in the classroom that we can use right away?
Arts, Care, and Connection is a K-5 curriculum that weaves together artistic practices with transformative social and emotional learning. It was developed in collaboration with Oregon educators, artists, and community partners. The resource is available online at the Oregon Department of Education and at Arts for Learning Northwest at artsforlearningnw.org.
The Arts, Care, and Connection program are founded on three key pillars. The first is art. How do students use their creative expression through art to process and reflect connected to the TESOL and the Oregon Art Standards? The second is care. The lessons are designed with culturally responsive and inclusive practices, making this accessible to all students. And lastly, connection, encouraging belonging, sense of agency, and a positive classroom culture. Now we're going to get into a module and see how you can integrate it into your existing curriculum.
The entire resource is a library of 98 learning modules created by Oregon educators and artists, integrating art skills and practices with themes including identity, empathy, storytelling, decision-making, problem-solving, and collaboration. Each module includes a detailed lesson plan with student-centered learning objectives, core art standards, and transformative social and emotional learning standards. The lessons are presented as videos featuring Oregon artists, and they also include teacher notes and suggestions for classrooms so that teachers don't have to have specialized training in art. The lessons can be explored by teachers and their students as part of a typical class day. The modules are organized by art discipline, including visual arts, theater, dance, and music, and then are organized again by grade level, associated with a specific transformative social emotional learning standard, and then broken out into state-aligned art standards.
Let's dig into the curriculum. The first place you go to is the oregon.gov website, and there you'll see the Arts Education Resources page. You'll scroll down to the Arts, Care, and Connection opportunities and click on Oregon Arts Group. This particular link will take you to a page that has all of the 98 modules available to you to look at. In these modules, you're going to find printable PDFs, editable Google Docs, as well as Spanish language versions of every module. After taking a look at the Oregon Department resource, there is incredible resource through the Arts, Care, and Connection page through Arts for Learning Northwest. By going to their website at artsforlearningnw.org, you can access their lesson plan library. They have a very smart filtering system to help you find the exact lesson that you're looking for. As a classroom teacher, I would start with the grade level that you're interested in And right now I would look at the 5th grade. I've worked with a lot of different grades over the years, and I love my 5th graders. And when I would go into this page, I will be looking at different things that pop out. Perhaps that there is a English language unit that I'm working on, and I'm developing a character from a story. And I may actually want to click on this one right here, Connecting Through Dance with Jace Lequier. As I'm someone who doesn't think of myself as a dancer, this is a little intimidating to consider doing a dance unit with my 5th graders. But I first would like to get to know the artist a bit more. So by going to this page, you can click on this video and you can hear directly from the teaching artist that created this entire lesson. And by doing this, it'll give me a quick sneak peek into if this is something I want to investigate further. I've looked into this lesson and I really am excited about it. So the way that I would get more information is I would scroll down and I would put my name, email, zip code. So once you would put that information in, it would open up right into the page, which has the lesson plan PDF. Let's click on that and see what it happens. And this PDF, oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. So I would actually be looking directly for the learning target. And this particular one is written in student-friendly language. So my students, by doing this lesson, would be able to collaborate with others in an effective way to create group choreography that is inclusive in the entire group. Also, they would be able to use dance as a form of physical expression to communicate ideas, emotions, and thoughts. Well, this would be a perfect way for me to start to transition into character motivations and developing a new character based off of the story we were reading. If I can help them express these ideas and emotions and thoughts of their characters through their bodies. So this seems like a really great match for me. So I would continue looking at the different essential questions. I've noticed this different transformative SEL standards that are connected to it. There are the state art standards as well. As I continue to go through this lesson plan, I'd be looking for, oh, okay, so physical environment. What do I need to make sure this is successful? Most of these modules are going to be using the things that are readily accessible to you in your room. If you continue to look through the module or the lesson plan, you would end up seeing actually the step-by-step guide for me, the teacher, to be able to follow. I would be actually looking for the very last section, and that last section would basically tell me, how can I expand this? How can I extend this activity and this learning for students and differentiate as I need something to access all students into the work, so that there's some actual access need variations. That's an incredible resource for me to make sure I'm including in the work. And if I continue on to look at the additional resources, sometimes you'll even find extension activities, or if you were to take this one step further, you could do this or that. And then at the very end, teacher tips are usually where the artist will tell you, as you're doing this work, consider this, or if you're seeing this behavior, consider this. And so I would feel very prepared in a very clear way to know how I would be engaging with my students by looking at this lesson plan. If we can go back to the website, I'd love to see actually the video module itself. So you're going to go to where it says Google Slides. And this is the other tool that I love looking into, because this is the practical element that I would use right in my classroom. So I would see my slides being able to download this right away. I click on the next slide. This looks like an address directly from the teaching artist to me, the teacher. Then we would see actually how this slide corresponds with the lesson plan that was already created. And I would just quickly walk through it just to see sort of some of the aspects of the module. And it looks like there's even videos embedded into the slides showing the artist doing some of the activities, which is intentional, as that would actually be playing. And then I would take it one step further after watching the video. And at the very end, if you scroll all the way down, then you're going to have a little reflection moment. I think many of these modules have that component where the students take a moment to breathe and reflect. And then has a little even offering if you have questions or want to continue to connect with a teaching artist. They even give their resources and invitation to connect with them more. So that would be one of the ways that I would be looking through this material to see if it's available for me to use right away in the classroom.
All right, so you might be thinking, I don't have 60 minutes in my classroom, and that's okay, because these lessons and these modules have been broken up into different sections. There's a lot of different different practical use for these lessons. So you could think about using different parts of the lessons for different needs throughout your day. Maybe a warm-up time. You'll use one of Jace's warm-up, dance moves or theater moves to kind of get people moving out of their seats. You could use it part of your integrated arts time, back to school orientation. You can adapt the content area for any of the tools that you need for relationship building and reflection with your classes. And you don't need any specialized arts training to lead these in your classroom. We've tried really hard to create this resource as a way for you to navigate it with your students so that you're learning and growing together. You might also be thinking that your class is not a K-5 class, and so you want to work with material that you could adapt for maybe middle schoolers or high schoolers. I was thinking about Mika Martinez's lesson, looking at images that are important to us and curating them together. They have a great lesson talking about bringing people together and seeing what unites images, how we pick images out, and what they mean to us. And I think that that's something that's important for all ages. I can imagine high schoolers really getting a lot out of this experience. And then one thing to note, a lot of these and eventually all of them in the resource will be translated into Spanish. So everything you see that is an English resource will be available as Spanish language. Some of them are natively written in Spanish, which is amazing. We have our Spanish speaking teaching artists providing that natively in Spanish. So we really hope that you've enjoyed this video showing you some of the different ways that you can access and use the Arts Care and Connection learning modules, how they can be adapted for different student needs and different parts of your teaching day, and just all the different amazing ways that we make art in Oregon and how it can connect to your students' lives and support their well-being.
And I love how the Arts Care and Connection program provides so many more options to our existing curriculum. You are the experts as the classroom teacher for your students and your content areas. And this Arts Care and Connection is just one more tool to be able to bring more connections, more care, more art into the classroom with your students. And I'm just excited to see how this will actually play into a science lesson or into a social studies lesson, because the arts can be integrated and can activate so many different areas of learning in a classroom. Thank you so much for taking your time to learn about the Arts Care and Connection program. We are all very busy and well-engaged individuals, so this moment is really important to acknowledge. And we hope that this time has given you the resources, the courage, and also the care to take this in and use it with your students.
Yes, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and for bringing the arts and artists into your classrooms. As a teaching artist, I absolutely treasure my time with students and know that I am entering into really special places when I get to visit classrooms all over the state. And so from the bottom of our hearts, thank you very much to our teachers and our educators of all kinds. Access the full curriculum on Oregon Open Learning and start your journey today. Also look for it at Arts for Learning Northwest.